The tendrils of Dark World have returned. We have Buster Blader and friends. Lightsworn? Okay. You guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Ken and Gen back at it again. You know, these cards were so cool back in the day. They were super exciting, but I feel like nothing really has came from them over time. You know, we just kind of forgot that good old Ken and Gen existed, but Dark World did not, in fact, forget about Ken and Gen. No, sirree, no, they did not. This is actually kind of interesting. Seeing Dark World actually in a format where Shifter is running around everywhere at this point in time, to see that, you know, a Dark World player is coming out of the woodwork out here and finding success with things is quite interesting. Of course, you know, the Fiendsmith good stuff package in here with Lurries. Okay, that's going to actually get you to some pretty good quick stuff. You know, the Eater being able to drop down a specific Fiend monster, aka, you know, a Grapha or a Rainbow here, so you can go ahead and toggle on out. Going to be very, very strong. Also, we are not doing Ceruli or the Silva Handrip plays. This build is actually stripped that on out of the deck, kind of creating a completely different monster for the meta, which I actually didn't think I'd see that. We're also side decking the Neospace Connector here and the Aqua Dolphin. I actually like this a lot. Being able to gain that hand knowledge to decide, you know, which efforts that you need to go with in order to, you know, like, oh, okay, maybe my opponent has Nibiru, you know, like, no, we have to go ahead and try to play around with this and see what we can set up. And realistically, it gets you very, very strong places. I think a lot of people underestimate actually having this card in the side deck. I also see Magical Spring in here as well. This is just a case of you can literally pilot anything out here and be able to have some sort of successful run. I'm really happy to see Dark World actually doing something, you know, especially with all the toolbox pieces. Okay, ooh, what else we got back here? Fiendsmith, Buster Blader, and friends. Well, first of all, I'm not surprised to see a deck like this kind of returning back into the meta, depending on how many Tenpai players that you have running around in your environment, will make a decision tree for you on what your best plays are going to be, for sure. Also, you know, being able to Buster Blade lock your opponent is going to be one of the greatest self-accomplishments you can actually have. I also see Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss being something that this deck is actually able to make. I do see here, we are doing 2 Destruction Sword of Memories with the triple copies of Prologue because we are maximizing on those trap tricks. This is very important to understand because you are playing Buster Blader and, you know, attempting to, you know, lock your opponent and being able to, you know, well, we're not even, this is the lock. You know, locking your opponent out of their extra deck is going to be very strong. We're also doing the Horus package on the bare minimum, which is the 1 Hoppy, the triple Mceti with the 2 King Sarcophagus. I guess you could try to play the 1, but I think 2 is going to be probably your more successful versions. You're already playing 43 cards as it is, and of course we are doing the Branded Regain in here. This card is really stupid. The more and more I have seen this card, you know, just regenerating the resources, being able to put that turbo pressure on your opponent, and really just the recurability that you're getting off of this, it's so gosh darn disgusting what you can do. Well, congratulations, everybody. You've seen basically a Buster Blader pseudo-lock deck. It's able to exist using the Fiendsmith cards to facilitate those combo extensions, the Lacrimosa Burn, putting that additional negate up on the field next to the Buster Blader, who will also use the pseudo-lock to punish your opponent. Hey, Dice or Ice next to a Buster Blader, that's not a combination field that I thought I'd be seeing anytime soon, but gosh darn it, does it certainly do the job for locking your opponent. Okay. Ooh. How many... See, this is... You take a look at the Fiendsmith stuff right now, and you're just like, wow. This is what we are seeing out here. And, yes. You love to see it. So this is Lightsworn with the Splash Yubel package. Now, the reason why you're playing this is to make the Phantom of Yubel, because remember, 1 throne basically gets you to both of the pieces, which automatically turns on the Phantom, and then the Phantom basically gets you the Yubel up and running, and congratulations, you know, you've got a monster back up on the field so that you can do your thing. It's it's kind of stupid being able to have an effect override on your opponent, but that's the current level of power creep that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is trying to go for here. You know, being able to set up said interruption to punish the opponent. Okay. I do see, because we are doing a lot of the milling and things with this deck, we do actually side deck the 2 black goats. I think that this is fine. You do want this. We are also playing the Punishment Dragon, no JD in here. Your Lightsworn names are on a good high roll. I mean, when you get to the punishment, you'll be getting them kicked out of play with Minerva. There will be some times where the Minerva will end up being negated, which... it's called what it is. I mean, it ends up happening if your opponent has the imperm for this, you know. You can still do the other combo lines and facilitate what you need to do. Also, hey, look, another deck that's using the Branded Regain package. Oh, wow, it's almost like this is a very common occurrence across your meta now. So I do quite like that. That's very, very standard now, in my opinion. I also see for time down here, we have the Volcanic, no shots allowed. Take those nice little 500 life points away from your opponent, go into time. I feel like with the interactions of this deck milling, though, you shouldn't be going into time all that much, but everything here seems alright. Oh, what else we got back here? So we have illusion good stuff for you here. Now, one of the cool things that I've seen this deck kind of doing, which is, this is a real shame, by the way, because we just got the crazy buyouts actually occurring out here for the Adusted Gold and the Sinister Necrom, and you're a little bit, unfortunately, too late wanting to give this up. So basically what you end up doing with this mini combo line is, you know, we can Sinister Necrom, get the Adusted Gold, discard the Adusted Gold, get to the Dark Calling, and the Dark Calling lets us banish from the hand or graveyard to make the Malicious Bane down here, which, I mean, the only real things you need for this are just an Evil Hero monster plus, you know, the level 5 or higher. And what ends up happening with this is, you know, this thing basically is kind of indestructible. I mean, it's just can't be destroyed by battle card effects, which that puts a lot more of a problem on your opponent than I think you might actually be realizing. And, you know, basically, this is an illusion monster, in the way that it's technically worded. But the main thing here is you also have this destruction effect on this, and all the other floatability. Oh, and also, did I mention, you know, you still have all of the other synergy that your deck has got going for you here, all wrapped up on a very nice bow, handed to your opponent going, yeah, get good. I also see we are side decking a shifter down here if we need to bring it in for the cross out. We can also bring in the barrier statue of the dark, tell your opponent no. Yeah, seems pretty funny to me. Outside of that, I don't think there's anything too else crazy. The Evil Hero package in here, I would say, is one of the coolest extra little innovation lines that we've actually seen in modern day, and I'm happy to see, you know, we do have results backing this up, because a lot of people were strictly talking about this on theory. I'd seen no real, like, regional data backing this up, but this does look like something that I think will continue to go forward and be very, very, very fun. And our last list here is Ostinato and friends. So for the Melodious players out there, yes, I still think your deck is very good. I do think that you're going to continue to be a very solid rogue contender going forward here. The only problem is you know, your good matchups have gotten a little bit harder. You do see that this build is playing the Dominus Purge with the Ash. I love bringing this argument up every single time. You're just going to Ash first and then Dominus Purge. Woo, we did it. All right, who cares if I get locked out of water, fire, and dark? All right, I've already done my purpose. All right, you're just hoping that by the time that this has to come up, you know, you don't have to access something like SP Little Knight, which typically is just a result of a bad board or having to clean up, you know, a problem card that went sideways. It's pretty relevant to see that. I also do see here, in terms of interesting ratios, we are doing one Mourner with the one Ghost Ogre, which is kind of cute. You also have the Veilers in here for the defensive options. I do see that we do have two Deltas with the one Gamma, and of course, you know, you're bringing in the one Driver. I still think it's funny that, you know, even though Gamma's still one, you know, those two Deltas basically are facilitating that loss of good power. So, yeah, that is your breakdown for decks today. A lot of interesting things out of the OTS Championships. I look forward to seeing what more people are going to kind of throw around out here, and just what the meta will kind of head into. You know, we are heading into a list here. I've said this countless times. But I think a lot of these things in the rogue category are still going to stick around. So please, leave a comment down below to what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back. You learned it, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.